Okay, here we go. Episode 2 of our series. Let's start diving into some of those individual options out there, their pros, their cons, their environmental impact and sustainability on our planet, and why they might be the right countertop choice for you. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I want to kick off this discussion about individual countertop choices with quartz. Not only was it the most popular choice amongst our clients last year, but is quickly becoming one of the most popular choices in the market today. It does still trail granite by a few percentage points overall. However, I think that has more to do with as the popularity of quartz rose up, the cost of granite has dropped, making it a more affordable choice for a lot of those entry style houses. Second of all, I want to use engineered stone or quartz countertops, as they're most commonly referred, as our measuring stick, our comparison tool for all of our upcoming discussions. Most folks find themselves in a situation where they're deciding between a few different materials, and almost always one of them is quartz. So let's start with how these countertops are made. Quartz, the most common component found in quartz countertops, is a naturally occurring mineral found in a whole bunch of different types of rocks. Remember science class back in the day? Igneous, metamorphic, sedimentary.
Did you ever stop to think that the whole world is covered with rocks?
Yeah, quartz can be found in all of them. Interestingly, quartz is one of the hardest components of these rocks. Therefore, as the rest of the rock erodes or wears away over time, you're left with these large deposits. The quartz can then be mined and ground down to form the main component of these countertops. The groundstone is mixed with resins and pigments and baked using Breton stone technology. Now, I'm not going to dive too far into that technology, but the process is used by almost every manufacturer and involves a vacuum and vibration to remove air along with compression. The slabs are then heat cured to harden the material. By now you've probably heard me and others say that not all quartz is created equal. However, if they're all using the same technology, how do manufacturers differ? Well, first of all, every manufacturer puts a slightly different flair into that Breton stone technology, creating their own unique process, if you will. And secondly, it also comes down to the quantity and quality of ground quartz as well as the quality of binders included in these countertops. So if we take a quick look at some of the most common manufacturers out there, we'll find that Caesarstone typically averages around 90% ground quartz in their countertops, whereas Handstone, LG Vieterra, and Cambria all use 93%. Those few percentage points really don't sound like much, but it can make quite the difference when it comes to the look, the feel, and even the sound your countertops make when you're working in the kitchen. It can also impact the porosity and durability of those slabs. So what are the benefits or the pros to going with a quartz countertop? Well, first and foremost, quartz countertops are very hard and very durable. Quartz is the hardest non-gemstone in the world, and as we discussed, it makes up a significant chunk of these countertops. Quartz countertops are also widely considered to be non-porous, resisting stains, mildew, and mold growth. Now, I can already see people commenting below how their brother's cousin's friend had a quartz countertop and it stained. This is why I say widely, not always. I have heard of some horror stories, and some of you have even left comments on past videos of stained quartz countertops, but it is definitely not the norm. The closest I have ever come is a spilled jug of freshly squeezed purple grape juice, and it left a pretty sizable pinkish circle on a white countertop. However, after some serious scrubbing with a few different products and quite a bit of wiping away, it did eventually come out. So for the sake of this video, I'm sticking with the fact that quartz is generally a non-porous countertop. Then there is the endless selection of styles and colors to choose from. You can have everything from solid colored slabs to speckled varieties, all the way up to just slabs with gorgeous veining resembling that of the most beautiful marble slabs out there. And finally, you have no long-term maintenance with these countertops. Because they are an engineered stone and they resist staining, they're non-porous, they don't need continual sealing throughout their lifespan. It's just a simple wipe down and you're good to go. And now a little trick if you're having to clean really stuck-on gunk off your quartz countertops, like think making pizza dough and you have some of that floury water mixture left behind and caked on. Grab a flat razor blade, keep it flush to the countertop, and it'll scrape off really easily, and you don't need to worry about nicking up your counters. So quartz countertops are probably starting to sound pretty good right now. You know, they're durable, they are no maintenance, they're non-porous, and you can really see why they're so popular. However, they do come with a few downsides. The biggest pitfall to quartz countertops, they can't take a lot of heat. They'll resist a certain amount of heat and a certain amount of scorching, but only up to a certain point. Otherwise, you're going to start risking, leaving a discolored circle from that hot pot you just pulled off your cooktop. Most manufacturers do claim that their slabs can withstand up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is dang hot. I really wouldn't risk it. Throw that pot onto a hot plate. Don't risk discoloring your countertop in any way whatsoever. It's just not worth it. The second biggest downside to quartz countertops is they are not outdoor safe. As of right now, as far as I'm aware of, there is not a single manufacturer that approves an outdoor use quartz countertop. In fact, more often than not, if you do place a slab outdoors, you will void its warranty. The reason for this is because the slabs can discolor or fade, they can warp, or even crack if they're left in direct sunlight for extended periods of time. Quartz countertops are pricey. Although not really a downside or a negative, you will, it is something worth mentioning. As I mentioned in the last video, quartz typically falls in that mid to high range of budgets when it comes to countertop costs. Typically, you can expect to spend anywhere between $60 and $100 per square foot installed, although those costs can vary widely depending on the manufacturer and quality of the slab you choose. And finally, installation is best left to the pros. This is not the most DIY friendly material, especially if you've got a kitchen like the one behind me where you've got a seam, a sink cut out. All of that requires some specialized tools to really make it look nice. So in the end, leave it to those who know what they're doing. Clearly, there is a lot to like about quartz countertops. However, outside of their appearance and functionality, we also need to think about sustainability and environmental impact of these products. So, how environmentally friendly are quartz countertops? Well, it's pretty good news here. Unlike many of the natural stone products we're going to be talking about over the coming weeks, quartz is readily available throughout the entire world. In fact, it is the second most abundant mineral on Earth, making up about 12% of the Earth's crust. Because it is so easy to access, it is also easy to mine effectively. And more often than not, it is pulled out of the ground relatively close to where the manufacturing process occurs. This reduces any shipping related concerns from sending raw product all over the world. Quartz also doesn't require any special handling. There's no looking at a slab for its veining or any pitting that might cause weak points. This reduces overall waste, meaning everything can go into those final products. I also mentioned earlier how durable quartz counters are, leading to just a longer lifespan overall. That means you're replacing your counters less often, creating less waste. While we're on the topic of waste, quartz can be recycled, so once you're done, its lifespan isn't over yet. Now, on the other end, the manufacturing side of things, some manufacturers are already including post-consumer recyclable materials in their quartz countertops, like crushed glass. Finally, even those resins and binders that are added in the manufacturing process are becoming more environmentally friendly and more natural overall. Some of the organic resins used are derived from non-food vegetable oils. So are quartz countertops right for you? Well, only you can really answer those questions. But if you have a household like mine where your kitchen needs to be a workhorse day in and day out, you've got kids ripping around all over, they want to help make waffles on the weekend, and your countertops are going to take some abuse, the answer is probably yes. At this stage of my life with little kids and a busy household, I really don't want to think about the last time I sealed my countertops or worry every time something oily spills. I want to be able to wipe them off and keep going about my day. So if you want a countertop that is going to look great for decades, requires very little maintenance, and is going to stand up to the daily abuse that we throw at our kitchens, this is definitely an option you should consider. Well, hopefully you found a little bit of interesting info out of this week's video. Even if you've already decided on quartz countertops, you're dead set on going in that direction, maybe you learned a thing or two more about them that you didn't know. Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedules to hang out with me, and I look forward to seeing all of your smiling faces next week as we start diving into those natural stone options.